Is that it?
We are. We just don't have the TVs on, but we are.
Wait, okay, that's live. Now we need, aren't we supposed to have a green light somewhere?
You have red, but we have green.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, well, I'm calling this meeting to order. Our first item of business is the minutes from the previous meeting. I know Jim had a chance to look at these.
I did.
Max, how about you?
Very short, they look fine to me.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to approve those as presented. No changes. Second item, review of the rejected absentee ballots from last night's election. Jennifer.
We had 2 rejected absentee ballots. One did not include a voter statement or an ID. So the voter statement automatically makes it not eligible to be counted. We looked inside even the ballot only envelope, and there wasn't anything in there for us for that one. The second one is, and I've printed off the voter statement for you to be able to see.
Oh, okay.
The second one is the voter failed to include their date of birth on their voter statement. That's also an automatic rejection. There is no way for the voter to be able to come back in and fix that part of it. So these 2 ballots are automatically rejected for those 2 reasons.
Okay. Are they picking up trash out there? Is that what that noise was?
They're remodeling the assessor's office, and I think they're using the dumpster.
Okay.
Okay, you'll send both those voters a letter stating why the ballot was not counted.
Yes, they will both get a letter stating exactly that.
Okay. All right. That's really all we have on that. Item 3, review the provisional ballots from yesterday.
Okay. So I've got them separated here. We have 3 that can count from yesterday. Both, 2 of them are ones that we had questions on how close of the line. Were they in Senate 7 or not? And it was really a difficult call for just myself or Kim. And so we had Becky Reed look at these 3 ballots, these 2 ballots, and we did find that their house was in State Senate District 7. So those are eligible to be counted.
So these were folks who showed up to vote, but they weren't in the system because they hadn't been previously coded as having been in State Senate 7. And that's because the coding was based on the map that was drawn during the last redistricting.
It is, and their actual, their part of their road is in State Senate District 7. And then there's a part of it that curves and goes like this. And so there's a few houses that are in State Senate District 7, and then there were a few houses that weren't in 4, I think it was. And so it's a really, you have to like drill down to it to find house by house. I will tell you that the clerks, the new system that she has, the Data Scout system, has really been beneficial in trying to find these areas where we do have houses, because she can do it house by house.
Well, and presumably these may not, once all the lines are redrawn, they may not be in the new district, right? Because 7 is going to change in itself.
Yeah, and this area is out towards the Goshen area. It's Prairie Township 1.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be in. It's not that spring. That Senate District 7 is now 3 different state Senate districts. So.
Yeah, it's going to make some major changes.
And then the third one that can count. This voter requested an absentee ballot, and he did not return it in time. He came to early vote on Monday, and since he had already been given an absentee ballot, he has to vote a provisional, and his absentee ballot did not come back in the mail, so therefore this provisional is eligible to be counted.
Okay. And then you've got 4 more?
These three, I don't think you want to sign yet.
Oh, okay.
These three absentee ballots were for lack of ID.
Oh,
The
right,
voter was unable
okay,
to show ID.
okay.
So the first one where the voter voted at Elkins, he had a Missouri driver's license. And so he's actually on his way this week to go get a new Arkansas driver's license, and said, I called all of the
Good.
voters. He said that he was getting a new Arkansas driver's license and would come to the clerk's office and present his ID.
Okay. So these will be in
These will be-
limbo, if you will,
Yes,
until Monday at noon.
That is
Okay.
correct. And this voter, she did not have her ID with her, but I did speak with her as well this morning to just.
Oh, good.
I just wanted to make sure that they understood that they had to come back to the courthouse since it is relatively new, and that our poll workers were explaining everything to the
Yeah.
voters correctly.
Is there a reason why?
She filled out the back side of it.
Oh.
So it is countable. She signed everywhere.
Yeah.
They did the poll watcher challenge on the back, so it's not technically a poll watcher challenge.
Okay.
So
Okay, well, I guess we need to make sure and,
well, we had put the letters for the voters on the back side, so the poll supervisor,
Okay.
when she pulls it out, that's
Okay.
what she saw.
yeah,
We're gonna swap that
good.
and fix it. we have made that note to
Oh, how
adjust.
funny.
This is an absentee ballot where they did not return their, they returned an ID, but it was, I think, out-of-state driver's license.
Oh,
So,
was this the Ohio one?
yes, this is the Ohio one.
Okay.
Now, this voter, because they voted absentee, did not receive a letter. Like,
Oh.
when you vote in person, you receive a letter with explanation of what you need to do.
Right,
This voter, because they voted absentee, doesn't get the benefit of receiving a letter.
but
letting
you
them
talked
know.
to her.
I have left a message with this
Oh.
voter. I will try and reach out to this voter again, but I will put a letter
Yeah.
in the mail explaining what
Okay.
this voter has
This
to
is
do.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
They ought to be able to get it by, well, I mean, it's in Springdale.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't take that long to
It
get
shouldn't,
there.
but I will try. I left a message. I will try and
Okay.
I will try and get in contact
Okay.
with this voter again. And then these are two where same thing. Weren't sure if they were in State Senate District
Oh.
7, but Becky confirmed that they are not, and she included maps
Oh, good.
to show that they are not eligible to vote in the Senate District 7.
Okay.
Hey, are we supposed to be reading names out?
I don't think for
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 provisionals?
that's for absentees. Yeah.
There's
So
nothing that you recall in the law.
and there's nothing I recall,
Provisionals.
not for provisionals.
Okay. So these are definite no's then?
Yes, that's. And this last one is a voter who is not in the voter registration or in the books. This voter has not had any activity since 2012. So they have come off the voter registration rolls. We will confirm if there is a voter registration
In
card
here.
in there.
Mhm.
If there's not, we will mail a voter
Okay.
registration card to this voter to get them registered to vote.
Yeah, okay. You can go ahead and sign those, Max, if you want, and Jim. Other than that, then, all we're waiting on is the overseas ballot. Okay.
And
All
that,
we would do is just sign this bottom line.
Yeah, right there at the bottom.
These two were not in district, right?
we're not in the district, that is correct.
Yeah, I see the maps there. That's helpful. Thank you for including that.
And then if the commission is able, I'd like to maybe try and meet on Tuesday. That way we could go ahead and count these ballots before we certify, on Friday. And that gives us an opportunity for the ballots for the voters who, were not able to show ID, come in and show their IDs, and then we can include those in that
That's
as
the
well.
15th.
Yes.
15.
Uh-huh. If you haven't gotten your Valentine's taken care of by then, you're too late.
Have we determined a time?
That's entirely up to the commission on what time.
Gentlemen, what's
I'm good on
your
that.
pleasure?
I don't care.
Shall we do 9?
Sure.
All right, 9 a.m.
And I can also have prepared a list of early vote sites and election day sites,
Oh,
so we can
good.
start that
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah,
as
good idea.
well.
Thank you.
So we're not, so this isn't the only item on the agenda,
Right.
but we don't feel rushed in having that conversation as well.
Yeah, okay, that'd be good. Okay, so now we've got the summary here of the provisional and rejected ballots. Y'all have any comments or observations about this form?
No, this is the state required form, right?
Yes, yeah. I'll go ahead.
You don't have to sign this one yet. We
Oh,
can wait,
okay.
'cause
Oh.
I'll present as,
Okay,
this just lists everyone that we have provisional ballots for.
okay,
And that way we can, it just helps me keep track.
yeah.
So,
And
I'll
you
present
won't
one
need
to
a new
us.
one until we certify, correct?
Right. And so
Okay.
I'll put in which ones were counted and not counted, but,
Okay.
this is just an accounting form really for us.
Yeah. Keeps you clear. Okay, is that all of it on
For the-
provisional? Okay. All right, upcoming items. Train the trainer form for the March 3rd training session.
That's just a form designating who will train the poll workers and attend the March 3rd training session.
Okay.
I'll have that form, ready for the commission to sign on this February the 15th
Oh, okay.
meeting as well, since it's a simple document.
Right,
But typically it is, myself and then Debbie
Mhm.
and Evelyn and Tanya and Lacey
oh, okay.
will all attend. It only to let you designate 4, but since we're hosting,
Right.
we can, we can have all 5 of us attend. That way we
The
can.
perks of hosting.
Yes.
Okay, letter to chairs of the Democrat and Republican parties for the ballot draw. Do we have it? Yeah, we do. That's on the 11th of March.
Yes, and I want to make sure that that date is good for everyone. And would you prefer
It's
to do it
Friday.
in room 115 or in the quorum courtroom?
I mean, I always like this room more
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Okay.
if we can ever get it.
Okay, I'll check the availability.
Okay. Yeah, is that the best time in the afternoon?
It's a Friday, so I did one, because I know
Yeah.
Jim,
Oh, yeah, you've got,
that was why I picked the 1
Okay.
o'clock.
okay, that's good. All right, let's see, so you're not gonna have those letters until next week. Are you gonna sign those letters?
No, the commission will sign them,
Okay.
but I'll have them prepped for
Okay.
us.
Okay, filing starts on the 22nd of February. Coming right up. Precinct approval, you've got a document or something?
No, Becky is working and working and working, getting all the precincts sorted and correct.
Yeah.
And then we're working with Northwest Regional.
Oh, yeah.
The commission will need to approve a new precinct map,
Okay.
basically. And so, we hope to have this done. I just don't have a timeline.
At least we don't have a runoff. You did confirm that, correct?
I did. I confirmed
Okay.
that with Josh at the SOS's office, and then I have an email from Chris at the
Oh, good.
SBEC with that same,
Okay,
sentiment that
Okay.
we don't have to have a runoff.
Yeah, I
Because,
was gonna ask the same thing, because none of these that even could be counted or even
Right.
in the Fayetteville district.
Yeah.
So there's no possible way.
right.
yeah.
The precinct approval, Becky's working on, she has a deadline on that, doesn't she?
So the deadline technically is 60 days before the election, and that deadline is March 25th. However, we can't prepare ballots unless
Right.
we have precincts and precinct relations. And so our goal certainly is to get it, if not done before filing, at least by the time filing ends,
Mm.
right around that time period.
Mm.
Because in order to build the ballot, we have to have those relations.
And candidates need to
Yes.
know which precinct they're in.
Exactly.
Oh,
And
my.
so, for Becky, obviously, too, she has to start getting the people pulled over
Right.
correctly. And so, we definitely want to have it done sooner rather than
So
later.
we're target is March 1st.
Okay.
What sort of, like audit or, confirmation, double checking process is there in place?
Good question.
Seems like a whole process, and I know, previous redistricting
Right,
found
right.
issues associated with it years afterwards.
So the new Data Scout program that she has, the old fashioned, the way Karen did it 10 years ago, she had Excel sheets and was
Oh,
writing on
yeah.
them, and then would go in and find the streets and everything. So some of that is still,
Yeah.
Becky's got a big map and just, kind of writing on it and everything. But the new Data Scout system that she has, the shape files are loaded into Data Scout. And so far, we've, I think we have all the new shape files loaded in there.
Yeah.
And basically what happens is, once we create the precincts, then she can run a report, and it will show which houses are in the wrong. So she'll have to do the manual part of pulling the streets over into the correct precincts. Then once that's done, then she can go into Data Scout and run a report, and anyone that is not, like, when it looks at the map and it says, oh no, you show this is in precinct
Oh.
Y, but it should be in precinct X,
Yeah.
it's gonna flag it, and it's gonna give her an Excel sheet of all the houses that are in the wrong
Wow.
precincts.
I wondered what those shape files were for, because those are on the Secretary of State's website under the redistricting stuff.
Yeah, so the shape files, the GIS, the state
Yeah.
GIS does them, and they already have them loaded as well.
Good.
And then Data Scout will have them, and so, but it does have a program that does a sort for her, basically. And that's how she'll be able to clean up anything.
And it's probably not 100% foolproof,
It's not, so
but
one of the
close to it.
close to it. One of the things that we also, that Becky talked to me about too the other day is, when we're going to set this up, she's gonna work to focus on the, where we have primary contested races.
Oh,
So we make sure that those
Okay.
are clean before we get into the primary.
Yeah.
And because if there's not a contested race,
That's true,
the general
yeah.
election is when those would come into play.
mhm.
And so we'll focus,
She's got a pecking order on it.
yeah, and I think her plan of focusing on the contested primary races, those districts, is a good plan.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
if there isn't a contested race, we have time to fix a correction if
right.
need be.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense. I think it would still be good to build in some sort of a formal process to check all of, her process. I mean, the shape files from the states, can you open one of those and just,
I think you can.
Yeah.
I've just kind of gone, I don't need these, so ignore them.
well, yeah, sure. We should do, not that I don't trust the state GIS, but I mean, just a visual verification that it looks the same as the files as the map. I mean, things like that, just to double and triple check the whole process.
So the problem, so what Becky has right now basically is a big blown up map, and she's going through the areas where she sees the new precincts created.
Oh,
So that part visually, yes, we can look at and see that. It's the finer detail of the streets that are in those newly created precincts and getting those streets pulled over. And that's the report that runs out of Data Scout that gives you if the streets are in the wrong. And then you can also go into the assessor's maps as well. And because I don't know if she pulled those off of Data Scout or if she pulled them off of the assessor's website, but they load their shape files as well, because if you ever go to the assessor's office, it has the information, and that's another source for us. And I know that the assessor's office has a new GIS person that they were talking about that is for the whole county.
Oh, really?
To work with, so that, so maybe there's a second set of eyes for us to look at things.
Yeah, maybe so.
Well, I was going to look and see if I'm pretty sure you can open these up.
But don't you have to have a program to do something with them?
That I don't know.
So what I notice on the state's website too, and what I have posted on our website, you have to have a program.
Max?
So what I've posted on our website is the link. They also went through and did individual House districts and individual Senate districts.
Okay.
And I have posted the links to all of the individual House and Senate districts on our website for the voters to be able to blow it up a little bit more and look to see if they're looking at, well, which one am I in?
Yeah, okay. They do have available, now these are just for the House and the Senate districts, so I don't think they drill down any further than that. But they do have PDFs and Excel sheets both, so I don't know. That's what the experts do. Okay, so precinct approval, hopefully we'll have that during filing. Or we'll have at that point, she'll have it all done and we will just have to approve it?
Hopefully.
Okay. All right, early vote sites, we'll talk about that on the 15th. And upcoming meetings, we'll do February the 15th, February the 18th, March the 11th, and then March the 7th. Did you say you're going to have ballots for approval today?
We don't have the runoff, so.
Oh, yes,
that
good
was
point.
Like,
One thing we don't have to worry about.
We almost didn't know what to do this morning without panicking, like, oh gosh.
Oh, that's funny.
So.
Okay, well, yeah, when you anticipate that and then it doesn't come, it's sort of a, whoa, what's wrong? Okay, other business, y'all.
We did do one thing this morning just to verify everything. And this was, I think, one of the things that the SBEC talked about at the meeting for the commissioners is that what is your official results, and what you use.
Right.
So we went through and took the results tapes from yesterday.
Oh, okay, and did it by?
And put them in a spreadsheet and made sure that the results tapes, everything that was printed on those from the DS200s matched what the ERM said last night.
Okay.
And so that is,
Are you-
everything is exactly the same.
Are you going to plan to do this as a matter of course in the future?
We will try. It becomes a little bit more difficult the more candidates
Of course,
you have on the ballot.
and
so
the
we
more-
wouldn't be able to do it as quickly.
Yeah, right. And the
but-
more polling places you have.
Yeah. But one of the things we do, and they do it actually election night, they're actually pulling the tapes election night because there's the public count on there.
Right.
And they're actually making sure that that public count is the number that reads in to the ERM that night.
Yeah, I thought we checked it.
We do.
That
This
night.
is just drilled down
Yeah,
more
okay.
to the actual contest.
Okay.
Good.
So,
Yeah, I would suggest that we do that as a matter of course.
Yeah. I mean, it might not, you might not want to do it election night,
If you don't have time.
but
for every
maybe,
single race.
maybe by certification.
Oh, definitely.
you would want to do it by certification. But today we could do it. We had 9 sites and Debbie could sit down and do it very quickly.
Yay, Debbie!
But yeah, before certification, we would be able to do this report, just
Okay.
not as quickly as we did
And
today.
Yeah.
you still continue to do the public count verification.
Oh,
Right,
oh,
right.
100%. Yeah, that we won't sleep easy at night if we don't do that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I get it. Okay,
Good, thank you for this.
we appreciate you doing that. That's a, you know, I think it's just one more demonstration that what we got, what we released to the public is what we actually had.
Yep.
And, you know, it all syncs,
Right.
which is what we need. We need that demonstration repeatedly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, any other business? Gentlemen? No ball games to worry about today? All right.
Plenty of 'em.
This meeting is adjourned. Appreciate you gals.
Thank you. So